Wonderful. Welcome everyone to Town Hall number 10 for RWA Inc. And today we are going to talk a lot about some of the very cool things that have happened in the Middle East. Kevin has been, dragged into that journey for a couple of months. Now he's actually in Korea tonight for the blockchain Korea week. So that's also exciting. I'm sure you're gonna add a lot of really cool stuff for all of the events. We're going to Token 2049 next. Like it's all crazy, right? It's crazy town right now. A lot of stuff is happening. So much that we are going to tell you guys. Of course, we'll talk a little bit about all of the updates on our product, all of the things that will happen on marketing. And as always, we will have AJ wrapping up with some of the golden nuggets, some of the numbers, and some of the details. But with no further ado, Kevin, I'll hand it over to you. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. And today we will be sharing the latest news also from the Middle East. I was in the desert for over a month and had AJ flying in as well. And we basically went to 7 meetings and we had a fantastic experience, guys. The developers are super happy with our product. And we basically had 100% interest rate and meeting booking rate. And we are really onto something here. It exceeded all expectations, and it was great to see the product is fitting so perfectly into the demand. You can change slides, Mike. As I said, they loved our product. We gave big demos and we went through all the functionality, and it was just spot on and something they had never seen before. So this really was an eye-opener for me, because one thing is to believe you have something good, but to have the validation from the entire market, from 100% of the of the market, in terms of that little test you did on the market, that just shows that this is something very, very special. So now we are in finalization of all the negotiations. We have done the whole, go-to-market pricing and strategy, thanks to AJ. And now we are actually ready to hear from them, because we have sent out all the offers now. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is exciting times. We have now 7 chances and 10 more soon, because we're going to meet 10 more. So 17 chances in total for getting just one of the tier 1 developers. And then we will be in a very good position. So great job to the marketing team, great job to the sales team, great job to the product team for setting everything together. So we now have a full offering to the market.
And Kevin, I think what you're really saying here when you say developers is, of course, real estate developers. We're talking conglomerate businesses. We're talking multi-billion-dollar developers who are building constructions in places in the Middle East. This can be both real estate for private housing. It can be for businesses, but it's massive developers that we're talking to. Like, you were at meetings at their headquarters in Dubai and really sat down with the decision makers, right? And I think
it was board members. It was, the highest of the highest chairmen, so on and so on.
Wonderful.
We saw their projects. They have $1 billion worth of fantastic projects, actually, that fits perfectly into the European, especially their investment appetite. So I'm expecting a lot from this.
Awesome. Very cool.
So we are going to take a big lion's share of the market, that is for sure. I have personally increased my expectation for this, and I think the entire leadership is also very bullish about the next steps here.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, Kevin, I'll step in and talk a little bit about the investor platform, because that was actually what you were selling to these real estate developers, right? Like, you were
Right.
showing up at their doorstep. You got introduced to all of the right people. We brought in a director of real estate who is taking on having all of these contacts, and we got set up in the right meetings, showing off the investor platform. And what was really interesting about it is that these real estate developers, they're not Web3, right? They're not versed with blockchain. They don't know anything about it, right? They are used to the slow banking world. They are used to having to sign things almost in person before it actually works. Like, and it's such a slow, such a complex, such a, difficult world that they are actually used to. And
Yep.
they are just looking for ways to get their assets off the market, or into the market, or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
as quick as possible, right? Like, they actually want to liquidate as fast as possible. They build a building. The longer that building is standing and not actually being sold to anyone, it's a cost for them, right? They have agents running it. They have other things like that. So what they see with us is actually technology that brings them on chain, makes it available for the broad. This means not just the local markets, but all of the international markets, and even in sums that are very different from what they're used to. Because normally they have to sell apartments or buildings, other things like that, maybe starting at $200,000-300,000, right? And they go all the way up to $5-10 million or more. And what they are seeing is, of course, they need to find a single buyer for these. So normally the agents have to go out, find a buyer. It takes a lot of time. There's a lot of, management fees and everything like that. With our platform, we're actually making it possible for them to get this on chain in front of everyone in the world that they have, that knows them and believes in their brand. And they can actually sell this in very small chunks. $1,000 per person or $500 per person, completely brand new for them, because they actually almost are a bank as long as they hold the actual asset. And also, when they sell the asset to these people who wants to buy it, they normally only get 20% as an upfront payment, and the 80% they don't get to begin with. So they actually play an interestless bank for 3 to 5 years, right? And that is what we're changing for them. We're removing that whole process. They
Yeah.
simply tokenize the asset, send it through our investor platform, and get the liquidations instantly. What they, on the other hand, like with this is, of course, the investors that buy into it, they get the opportunity to be a part of the market while it grows. They get the opportunity to get all that, interest and all of that opportunity on the leases and everything like
Yeah.
that. So the investor actually wins, the real estate developer wins, everybody's happy, and we're just removing a ton of complexity and fees. And this is what gets them super excited, right? Because we have
Yeah.
actually shown that it's possible. We have gone to market. We have shown them that we can list clients, we can list assets, we can raise funds on the blockchain, we can do it fully securely and fully regulated, and we can do it in a way that is extremely efficient. That is what I, at least from what you guys said, have gotten from it, that this is like the whole thing that we've done with the investor platform, and the few projects we have on the investor platform right now, some of the projects coming in the utility space, that is more a demo almost for the big real estate developers to understand that we are the real deal, right? And of course, that goes back to saying we do have 6 clients that have been listed on our platform so far. We have 5 more which are in preparations, and 1 that is about to list. We also have 20 in pipeline. So we're not going to stop doing what we're doing today. We're going to continue to push on this. But what's exciting about it is, at some point in the not too far future, we're not going to say utility tokens. We're going to say tokenized real estate, right? And we're going to put that on the technology. The private investment platform was able to raise more than $100,000 just for Backstage and PiggyCell, a perfect example for these developers to see that it's actually possible. It came from everywhere in the world, right? Normally they can't do that. They can't get $100 from someone to put into an apartment or something. That would never make sense, because the admin behind that would be so expensive. So this is really about showing it. Of course, we're also soon going to have our clients TGE. So we're going to see a lot more about that in the not too far future. The IDO section that we have on the platform is still live. The problem is generally that our clients have been waiting and waiting and waiting. The reason why they wait is because the market is very slow. We're not seeing the bull that everybody anticipates. And we do believe that a lot will happen here in Q4. We think Q4 will be a massive quarter for crypto and also a massive quarter for tokenization. The trading section, we went live with it. It's working. We're seeing people using it. What we want to do with this is, of course, we want to expand on it. We want to upgrade it. We want to make sure you can trade with various different tokens that we're listing. We want you to be able to trade secondary market in the future. There's so much stuff that can go into this trading section, which is not live just yet. And finally, the investor referral system. Everybody knows we've been talking about the referral system. We've been teasing about it. We've been showing it. We actually came with a brand new one-time limited campaign this week that for the rest of the year, every single person that anyone refers through the platform who KYCs and goes through the full process of KYC, you actually get commission for every single one of them, even if they do not invest. And the reason why we're doing this is because we want to build that massive ecosystem. We want to build the investor platform where we want to have so many users. In the moment the first tokenized asset goes live, it just needs to be sold out instantly. That is what we're aiming at, right? And I think that is what we're going to get from going live with the referral system. Again, the product is actually done, everyone. The product is done. The product is going on staging and it's being tested, etc. We need to make sure, as always, this is people's money we're working with, right? So we need to make sure this is bulletproof. We can't launch too early. So a lot of testing is happening. A lot of things are being validated, and we will go live with this very, very, very soon. But the product is ready, and we're super excited to see this go live in not too far future. As I said, the investor referral system is a truly exciting technology. The reason why it's an exciting technology are really three things right now. One, you get the option to get commission on every single person who KYCs this year. 3 months, you can invite 1,000 people. You'll be making thousands of dollars in commission. If you invite 5,000 people, you'll be making up to $12,000. That's, a ton of money for some people. Of course, it needs to be real KYC'd users, and we will be validating that with our third-party provider, BlockPass. Additionally, for every single person that you're bringing to the platform, whoever invests through the platform, whether that is utility tokens, tokenized real estate, or anything else like that, you will be able to get up to a 20% of our commission, of RWA Inc.'s commission. 20% we're giving away to everyone. We want to share our success with everyone, right? Remember, we're also buybacking and burning 50% of our revenue. So we are all about giving back to the investors. Very rare that you might see this, but this is actually true. And I think the most mind-blowing thing, the third level, is this is the world's first real-world asset referral system. No one out there has a real-world asset tokenization platform with an incorporated referral system where you make money every single time a real estate piece is being sold. That is groundbreaking. And this is also something the real estate developers love, that we can scale it like this. We're thinking exponential growth. We're not thinking small. I'm not going to go through the whole list here because it's a wall of text. But what I'm going to say is we're finishing up Q3 on Tuesday next week, right? We've been through a very, very busy quarter. We have had so many things that we've done, and we've launched so many things. The only things that we maybe need to talk a little bit about is we are right now at 6 out of 10 clients that we listed. We expect to get a 7th client. So it will be 70% complete. We still have 5 which are in listing, but they are delayed because of their side. It's not because of us. The technology, of course, works. We also expected to see both Backstage and PiggyCell listing on their TGE in September. Backstage has been working on some things internally, and they are getting their stuff out very soon. We should hear something from them today internally. And then PiggyCell has actually been working on expanding their listing map. So we can't really share what that looks like, but we can say it has gotten even bigger. And that means that it takes more time. Now, additionally, we also had this, big play on paid ads, right? Like we were working a lot on getting paid ads to work. We were ramping it a little bit, and now we're finally starting to see the ramp. We have 50,000 people that went into our platform over the last 30 days, and we continue to see it grow every single day. Not every single one is using the platform. Not every single one is connecting their wallet and signing a deal or something like that. But the fact that we get it out to so many people compared to just 2 months ago, where it was maybe 5,000 in 30 days, is a massive opportunity. We also have only spent $30,000 of our marketing efforts in the 3 months that we were talking about, from August, September, and October. And now we're going into a major campaign. We are pumping into the marketing exposure of the referral system launch. We will be pushing $70,000 or $75,000 into this referral system launch. This is across, influencers, it's across PR, it is paid ads, it is all of the different things that we're doing to make this as successful as possible. We've also signed 4 to 5, and we will be signing a 5th client. So it will be a very, very strong signing client quarter again. And I think the last thing I want to talk about is actually the developers, the real estate developers. We promised we wanted to create contact with 5 real estate developers. We had meetings with the decision makers of 7 real estate developers. So far above our expectations. And really also, as Kevin said, this put us on the map and put us in a state that we did not expect to see already now. So a lot of really exciting things happening. The Web2 friendliness of the investment platform is expected to happen during Q4. And also the OTC investment opportunity is expected during Q4. So if we talk quickly, product, IDO done, private investor section done, OTC expected Q4, the traded section V1 is done. We're going to upgrade that more. And of course, the investor referral system is actually completed. The launch is around the corner. So stay ready and be on your toes, because you can only refer a person once. If someone else referred that person, you're not getting anything. That's how the referral system works. 1 referral per person. As I said, on marketing, we onboarded a completely new marketing team on our setup. We've actually been partnering now with Cryptic. Cryptic is a very experienced Web3 and Web2 marketing house. They have worked with brands like Binance, Bybit, Algorand, OKX, etc. You can check out their portfolio on their website. We've been ramping our paid funnels. It's been working really well. 50,000 have been coming into our platform ever since we started it 30 days ago. We've continued optimization, and we will see scale happening on this. And then finally, a $75,000 referral system launch campaign going live just around the corner. Cool. I'll hand it over to you, AJ.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Kevin. Let me talk a little bit about the kind of the dollars and cents business impact for all of the things that Mike and Kevin just outlined. So really exciting month. The private investor platform, and also obviously the launch pad, we're seeing continued growth. And as Mike said, he's been ramping up marketing. That is typically, much to my chagrin, I'd much rather deploy our capital on product development. But we've been working really closely on this, and the money that is being spent is being money very, very well spent. Our customer acquisition cost continues to drop. And if I didn't see that happen, I'd probably say, look, let's reconsider this. But it continues to be trending in the right direction. So normally when I'd say, hey, let's not spend a lot of money on this, I think this is actually now is the exact right time, especially with some of the project launches that we have coming up and some of the stuff that we're doing in the Middle East as well. I think the referral system is going to be huge for us. We've got a ton of interest. We've got multiple parties that are ready to sign. They're looking to get going. We just need the product development and all the bug testing to be finalized, and we're going to be rolling that out. So I think that has a huge, huge potential. Again, another thing that I think I've learned, particularly from Kevin, is a smaller piece of a much bigger pie is still better than a big piece of a small pie. So the giving away some of our revenue thing would typically be kind of antithetic to my thinking, but we've noticed, how impactful this can be. So, we definitely want to see everyone in the community benefit from this. And as a result, we think we can really scale our user base and deployments on the platform. So very excited about both of these things. The marketing combined with the referral system is going to be really powerful over the coming months. As Mike mentioned, we have several projects that are expecting launch in the coming weeks, as I'm sure everyone has seen, particularly in the last 72 hours. The market's been a little choppy. Things were looking kind of like all systems go for about a week and a half. And then, of course, we're kind of back to, where are we in the market? So, everyone's kind of being patient about this. We're advising our clients to be patient, but there are times when the market turns and you've got to be ready to go. The good news is all of these guys are ready to go. We're just waiting for the market to cooperate. We didn't talk much about this, but on the OTC pipeline, again, I mentioned this on our last town hall, that this is a really nice kind of balancer in terms of stabilizing kind of our revenue when there's, times to launch and there's times when launches aren't happening. And those times are when OTC opportunities, really kind of start to proliferate. We've got over 15 clients ready to list on the platform when product development is complete. That will be the next product after the referral system. So we're very excited about that. Just to talk a little bit about the real estate opportunity, as Kevin mentioned, I was with him. We were in Dubai. I was there for about a week. We ended up with 7 meetings. We were expecting 3 or 4. 5 of those meetings were with top 20 developers in the region. And all of those meetings were with, basically C-suite level folks or VP and up. So we weren't starting small. We were getting kind of right to the crux, which demonstrates a couple things. One, our targeting is kind of spot on. We're identifying the right projects, the right people, and we're getting to them. That also really helps that we've got a new in-region real estate vice president who's kind of running all of these things in the background. The other thing that was really interesting, and I've got some professional experience in real estate, predominantly in the U.S., mostly big cities, New York, Chicago, Dallas, LA, San Francisco. What you'll notice, and I was basically on the front lines trying to sell new technology into real estate. And what you'll find in most places is no one wants to be first, right? They want to piggyback off of someone they've seen is successful. They're not aggressive. They're worried about if something fails. I will say generally in the Middle East, and this goes beyond just Dubai because we are having conversations outside of that just the UAE. Everyone wants to be first. If they can see an advantage, they really want to go. So all the meetings that we had, it wasn't like, hey, can we start with, selling and tokenizing a few units? It's like, let's tokenize an entire building. And part of the reason for that is the regulatory environment. The regulations in these markets are very favorable towards moving things on chain. I think I mentioned this on a previous call, but the head of digital transportation at the Dubai Land Department said they want 70% of all real estate to be tokenized and put on chain by 2033, which is a mere 8 years away, less now because we're almost at the end of 2025. So the regulatory piece is encouraging these guys, and then in general, there is just so much development going on, and it is so competitive that people want an edge, right? And we're putting proposals together now that show that we can impact bottom lines of the developers who typically operate on pretty modest margins, right? It's a brick and mortar business, obviously. We can impact bottom lines 20 to 30%. So they look at that and they say, oh wow, this could be really impactful to us. Plus, you have the regulatory encouragement, effectively, in region, and the general competitiveness of the space, where there's over 1,000 projects being built right now, and over 100 of those would be considered large or mega scale projects. So we're talking over 25 stories. Mega scale projects are over 50 stories. There's just crane towers everywhere, and these guys, have a what I would call a healthy and maybe in some cases unhealthy competition with everyone else in the region. They all want to grow the fastest. They all want to be the first, and they want to be the best, right? They see the opportunity to distinguish themselves, and if they can sell more, sell quicker, it actually helps them from a working capital standpoint to deploy more capital into new projects, which seems to be a big bottleneck for a lot of the developers in the region. So we're very excited kind of about how our solution can help improve the bottom line of these developers, and also improve their ability to sell and sell more quickly. So really, really encouraging. Likely going to be back in region in October, possibly in the next 2 weeks. We've got proposals going out to a number of the developers this week. So stay tuned on that. In terms of just how our token supply flows are looking, right, we're continuing to see a really nice impact from the drastically reduced monthly vesting unlocks. And as a reminder, in November, we'll have another reduction still. So that's really nice. But the big chunk of it came in July, and we're continuing to see that flow through. So we've got 107 million RWA stake, which is 5 million more than the month before, which is more than we emitted for the month. And it represents, now 22.6% of our circulating supply, which is up, another third of a percent from 22.3 a month ago. And that's still over 2x the industry average for percent of circulating supply that's staked for any tokens that are out there. So we're really encouraged by that. And it only gets kind of better from here. So I'll hand it back to Mike to wrap it up. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, AJ. As always, really appreciate the time. Kevin, AJ, it was great to have you on board with the town hall again today. Good to hear a lot from the front line of the Middle Eastern real estate stuff. I was not there, unfortunately, but you both were there, and I've heard so much really cool stuff from it. So really excited. Q4 is going to be crazy, really cool. We're coming out with a brand new roadmap for Q4. It is expected in the next week or so. So stay tuned, everyone, and thank you for listening in. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, everyone.